Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be covering a lesson on meditation and consciousness. Throughout history, dating back to the times of antiquities, meditation has been a prominent practice in many of the world's cultures. It is a tried and proven practice and exercise that takes on many different forms and serves a multitude of varying purposes depending on the practitioner or culture. There is a wide spectrum of perspectives and philosophical outlooks in the art and practices of meditation. Little too vast for this lesson. So today, I've decided to tackle a few of the big questions behind meditation and the mechanisms of the mind in relation to our occult practices. What is meditation? Why is meditation important? When should one meditate, and how do you meditate? We begin with the question, what is meditation? Before I answer this question, I should briefly explain a little bit on the nature of our mind. From what I've grown to understand from my studies and practices, there are two fundamental polarities that make up our brain. We have the conscious half of our brain, the masculine half. This is the half of our brain that speaks in words, logic, and reason. It is the side of our minds that we are most familiar with, as it handles most of the tasks and calculations we are consciously aware of on a day-to-day basis. Then we have the subconscious half of our brain, the feminine side. This half of the brain handles the back end of the mind that we aren't necessarily aware of constantly. It speaks in symbolism, ideas, concepts, and emotions, keeping details and records of every minor piece of information that we aren't aware of. The subconscious half of our brain whispers in symbols, whilst the conscious half of our brain more or less shouts with its words. There is another part to this relationship which can be interpreted to a variety of different symbols or correspondences. This is the hyperconscious mind, the higher guardian angel, God, the universe, or whatever you deem suitable for your work. We are incapable of directly accessing the hyperconsciousness through our conscious mind, and requires the help of our subconscious mind to establish that link with the hyperconsciousness. Through quieting of the talkative consciousness, we can begin to see the deeper mechanisms and symbols embedded in our subconscious mind. And through this, we begin to develop the more intuitive aspects and establish the link required to commune with the hyperconsciousness. Meditation, in the eyes of the occult, seeks to do exactly this, to quiet the conscious mind and to achieve a temporary sort of alchemical marriage between the two halves of our mind, so we can establish a link with the higher powers or hyperconsciousness. It is through this link that we can begin to manifest our will upon the universe, develop a stronger intuition, tap into the wellspring of ideas, concepts, and gnosis. Because of the nature of our subconscious and hyperconscious link, we are always more or less integrated with the higher planes and always subtly manifesting our will depending on our state of mind and our perspectives on reality. As above, so below. This is why meditation is crucial to the occult practitioner. Not only do we merge and learn to integrate the relationship between our conscious and subconscious mind for our magical operations, it keeps our brains in check for our day to day lives as well. Like exercising in a gym, a trained mind is a healthy, strong mind. It helps train our visualization, patience, focus, and a variety of other cognitive skills required not only in life, but for our practices such as attaining hypnosis, introspection, invocations, evocations, and just about every ritual you'll ever engage in. It is of my own personal opinion from experience that a magician should probably practice meditation daily. If you have a busy lifestyle, try dedicating even just 30 minutes to an hour a day for meditation and ritual. And by ritual, I mean maybe practices such as the LBRP or the middle pillar exercise, so on and so forth. To those inexperienced, start small, say 10 minutes of meditation. It'll become more natural and fluent as you go along. You should also ideally meditate before and after every ritual you engage in to help transition into altered states of consciousness. With all this information, you're probably wondering how you can begin meditation. First of all, getting into meditation is rather simply explained. You want to get yourself in a relaxed state of mind, in a quiet area with no distractions. Start with breathing techniques. They seem to be the go-to for many people, and simply begins by getting comfortable, away from distractions. Take a deep breath, count to 5 seconds, then you exhale, counting 5 seconds in your head. Repeat this for as long as it takes for you to relax, essentially, and release the tension in your body. Other people like to visualize and declare each part of their body to be relaxed, starting with their toes and working their way up to their head. Remember, don't hold on to anything or push anything away. Allow yourself to let go and succumb to the relaxation naturally. Forcing thoughts or tension away will only be problematic and detrimental. In some Eastern traditions, if you have to force yourself to meditate, or even the concept of actively engaging in meditation, then they see it as you're not even meditating at all, which is to say, it should come naturally. Next, we decide on the meditation exercise we seek to accomplish for this session. I have an excellent meditation for awareness and mindfulness over in my lesson on critical self-analysis and awareness. So if you have not seen that, I highly recommend going back and reviewing that lesson. In this lesson, I will go over a quick little technique that I utilize to help train my focus and visualization. Once you reach the relaxed state, visualize a yellow triangle in your head, or any simple 2D shape of any color. Doesn't really matter. Now hold that visual in your head for as long as possible. As soon as a thought interrupts your focus, start over and keep track of how long you were able to hold that image in your head. Don't be discouraged. If you're only capable of maintaining the image for only a few seconds, especially if you're newer to meditation exercises, don't beat yourself up. The more you practice, the longer you will be able to focus on that visual. Feel free to move up to more sophisticated shapes, objects, or visuals once you've mastered the yellow triangle. Now that you understand the deeper mechanisms of meditation and the mind, and know how to get into a meditative state of mind and the purpose it serves, you should be able to learn and understand the core principles behind each new technique and exercise you learn or develop. As the series progresses, I'll teach you more advanced techniques and rituals that you can utilize to incorporate for your practices. And with that little text message I got, I guess that's a good time for me to wrap this up here. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all coming along and learning along with us today. And I'll see you in the next lesson.